Be very, very quiet. I have a headache. Stand by. Hey everybody, welcome back to RATTLECAN FAB Shop. I am James, and I'd like to thank COVID for continuing to give me this 7 out of 10 sinus headache every waking moment of every day. And every once in a while it shoots up to not fun. And this is one of those days. But, you just kind of go with what you got, because a live problem is better than a dead solution, right? That's what we used to say. Anyways, this is going to be a short video, and it's going to cover next week as well, because there ain't nothing going on next week. Thanksgiving week, and I have one class. And so we'll cover that one, what we're going to do in that one next week. So it will be 2 weeks of having a video for this one. So what did we do this week? On Monday, we were in... Tuesday we're in welding and metal joining class, and we finished up the can crusher. And this is, I'm doing the final weld joint here. This is just some weird things I found laying around to use as spacers to hold this. And we're TIG welding in this little 3/8 rod into the holder for it. And then during the rest of the week, I took it back. What I did is I sandblasted most of it. There's a couple of spots that I couldn't get because our viewport into our sandblaster is the worst. I mean, you just can't. It's like sandblasting by braille. That's how not good it is. And so then I got as much of the grit blown out of it as I could. I finished I had a maple base made up. A friend of mine over in the guitar wood shop found these bases, and we subsequently gotten them sourced out for the rest of the class. But mine's been sanded down and finished just like I finished most stuff. It's got a bunch of coats of True Oil on it. I wet sanded a couple of coats to get it nice and shiny. Because when you're crushing, wobble pop cans, you want something shiny. And so I also resprayed the Sinclair S logo, because of course when I TIG welded it in there, I got it too hot and I blistered the paint. And then I just put a couple of really quick clear coats on that, just to try to keep the rust away. It's metal. It's going to rust at some point. It's been really humid the past couple of days, so I probably just encapsulated some moisture in there and just to rust it, but it's just the way it's going to go. And in that class next week, we will start TIG welding aluminum, and that means AC welding, which reminds me of Frankenstein's lab, because it's just buzzing all the time. Not my favorite thing to weld. If I had to pick one thing to weld all the time, it would be very thin stainless alloys like Inconel, that type of stuff. Super thin, super quiet. It's kind of zen, but anyways. So that's what we're going to do next week, and so you're not going to hear anything about next week. You might see a little blurb, but not much. Tuesday in the afternoon, I had math, and all of that studying paid off finally. We're able to bring one sheet of paper in with notes on it. I worked really hard on organizing my notes, and it paid off because I got a 94, and that is more gooder than the 59 I got the first time. And so right now I got a solid C in the class, and as they say, C's get degrees. So we'll see. We got one more test coming up after Thanksgiving. That is going to be and that's going to be our final exam. They're not cumulative exams. So it's just, we've covered the law of sines and we've covered the law of cosines, and that's going to be our final exam. In the Wednesday evening, long day. Wednesday evening class, we did, we're just adding new things into our drawings. This week we added dimensioning, and we added surface finish symbols. And so this is what we did. We made this dovetail finger, and we annotated it as the instructor wanted it annotated. And so you're just kind of trying to keep up. I still got to work on we have our, what they call our capstone drawing, which is the big mow. And we have it. I just need to get started on it because we have to turn that in, and that's a big percentage of our grade, and that's provided to us. And I just need to sit down and do it, because I believe, with the exception of not next week's lecture, week after next lecture, that's it, and then we're in final territory. So, anyways, that's what happened this week at school. If you don't know that, and it's kind of related to school, but it's more so related to the other channels content that we're doing, the guitar class that I'm doing. Because of that, I started a part-time job at Sinclair Community College this week, and I'm working in the wood shop, and we are making electric guitar body blanks, neck blanks, fingerboard blanks, and other such related things. And we're doing them on an industrial scale. We're doing things that I already know how to do. We're doing them in a little bit different way, and we're doing them on an extremely higher volume than I'm used to doing. I'm used to working on one neck at a time from, sometimes from a raw piece of lumber, but more often from a blank. Well, we're making the blanks out of raw pieces of lumber, and we'll make 50, 75, 100, 200 of them, over the course of 2 or 3 days. It's interesting. They are considered a medium level guitar kit manufacturer in the United States. And if you want to build one of their guitar kits, you got to go to class. So anyways, there's more information about that over on the RATTLECAN channel. I'll put a link up in the ethos there somewhere if you want to go check that out. But anyways, I'm limited to 20 hours a week that I can do that. So there are many days where I will go do a class. Like I go to welding class, and then I walk down the hallway to the wood shop, and I work, the rest of the day there. Or I'll work in the morning, and then I do classes in the afternoon. So since I'm hired on as a student worker, I have a very flexible schedule. Anyways, that's what I did this week, and that's the one thing we're going to do next week. I know for a lot of us, the Thanksgiving holiday is coming up. Don't get wrapped up in the politics around that. Use it as a time to be thankful and give thanks for what you have around you. If I could wish one thing for the people around me, it would be that they could travel around the world, as Jill and I have done, because you will become exceedingly humble and exceedingly thankful when you see how the majority of the world lives. We may not consider ourselves, as well off or rich by any means, but we are certainly in the upper crust when you take the world as a whole, and we should be thankful for that, and we should take the opportunity to share that bountifulness that we have been blessed with other people who are not as fortunate. That's my 2 cents on it. You can do whatever you want to do on Turkey Day. So he said, you guys have a great weekend. Remember, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can make a 94 on a freaking trig exam, you can do it. You guys have a great weekend. Cheers. Be safe. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Here's one that you might enjoy as well. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that button, hit the bell next to it so that you get a notification when we drop a new video. If you've got comments, put them down beneath the sermon notes. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. You guys have a great weekend. Cheers.